So, Master of Orion at Astra campaign started a few days ago, and we know very little about the solo mode at this point. There has been a lot of questions asked, and I'm here to try to answer some of those questions. So, what we know for sure, I think, is that the core box, so just the base box itself, will have two automas that you can run in either playing solo alone against those two AI opponents, or you can add them to your normal game. For example, you can play with two friends and you can add one of those to the game if you want. We can also see here that some of the stretch goals will unlock additional cards. For example, we already have unlocked a new automa deck that should include third automa, and also the fourth automa deck was unlocked here. And if we reach 730,000, we will unlock this. It says that it's 8 new cards and adds a few clever tricks to the arsenal. So I assume that this is something that will alternate the solo opponents to play a little different or something like that. So it's not a new AI player, it's something that will change the way they behave or something like that. Also, there are 3 expansions, but the Galactic Council and GNN expansion won't kind of work with the solo. They said that, of course, there are 3 new races in both of these expansions, and those are solo playable. They have their own automa cards or something like that, but the mechanics in these expansions are at least not yet, or at the moment, playable with these solo opponents. So, for example, you have the Galactic News random events. Those are not, I believe, working with the solo. Or either is the Galactic Council or the leader cards. But that could change. I believe they said that at the moment these are not working. But either way, if you want all the races, you can still buy these expansions and you get 6 new races you can play. And then there's the third one, the Antaran expansion. And this is a little bit more interesting. So you can even play with the Antaran by yourself, or you can play some kind of different solo mode or cooperative mode against them, and they can be even added to a normal game where they should be function same way as they function in Master of Orion 2, where they will make random attacks to your bases with high-tech fleet. So that's really interesting, but there's very little information at the moment how this will work. They did explain that Antaran is actually outside the map as it should be, as it's in the video game, and you are kinda able to attack anywhere you want, and you start with some kind of higher tech, as you of course should if you are playing with Antarans. So they sound like they are way different to play, but there is no information at the moment about the solo mode with Antarans or the cooperative mode, so we don't know anything about that, unfortunately. They did release yesterday a new update on the project, and they shared this one image with automa cards. So we can see from here that they have some kind of check that whether or not the automa controls X amount of system or has X amount of resources. For example, this here, the automa has a system with unit strength 4 or more. If condition is met, perform this action. If not, perform this bottom action. But they also did say that you are drawing some kind of other card also that will somehow make the diplomacy work or something like that. So it will check with the other card. We don't have image of that, but the other card will check your relationship with the Automa or something like that. And if you are spying on the Automa, you can be seen as a negative race and it might attack you. But if you are peaceful, you make trades with the Automa, you play kind of nice, it should be friendly with you. But if you are attacking the Automa, it will retaliate your hostility or something like that. So we don't know much about that, but these 3 cards were shared. They did also share that it's of course streamlined player, so you are not managing everything real player is managing or keeping upkeep. It says here, to keep gameplay smooth, the Automa's upkeep is streamlined. For instance, rather than tracking resources, only its income is monitored. Higher production income directly translates into building stronger ships and other advantages, allowing it to remain a challenge without overcomplicating the mechanics. So that's, at least in my opinion, the right way to do it. You don't want to make the game so that you are playing 1 turn and then you are doing half hour of some kind of flow charting with the Automa. So this is, in my opinion, the right way to do it. That it simulates as closely as it could simulate a real player, but it's not too high to upkeep. So in my opinion, this is the right way to do it. We just need to see more info how the Antaran's expansion work. Does the Automa have fleet on the board? Or is it something like in Void4 where the fleet just magically appears? How it decides where it's going to attack? And everything like this, we don't know anything about how it will choose the target when you are playing, for example, with 4-player, how the Automa chooses where to attack, when to attack, what ships to build, what buildings to build. Does it actually know the situation on the board when it should be producing fleet or when it should be not attacking? We don't know anything about this, but I did ask straight from the developers that are there difficulty levels. I believe I asked this way long time ago, like month or something like that, and they, if I remember correctly, they answered that there will be difficulty levels. We don't know anything about that, and everything we know at the moment can, of course, change because the solo mode is still work in progress. It's not finalized, and as we can see, the Antaran's expansion is also work in progress. We have very limited information about that one. So I'm a huge fan of Master of Orion 2. I've played it so much when I was younger, and I'm still sometimes playing it. And I really hope that the solo mode makes justice to this board game. The game itself looks really good in my opinion, and we don't have solo mode in either Twilight Imperium or Eclipse. And of course, Voidfall is a little bit different game. So I'm really excited to see if this game can actually deliver a good solo experience on game like Twilight Imperium or Eclipse. So I really hope that Archon Studio can pull off this solo mode, and I really hope that the Antaran's expansion brings some surprises to the table and offers some kind of really interesting solo cooperative mode that is a little bit different than the normal game, so that we are able to play the solo mode in a normal game against like 3 automas, or we can play a different kind of game where we are fighting against the Andorans in solo mode. I really hope that we will get those 2 different type of gameplay elements that I believe they have talked about. So I'm really curious to see how it will work. And many people have complained that these 2 expansions seems to be better because they have 3 races and new mechanisms and stuff like that. And this one has only the Andorans and custom race plus the huge galaxy. So I'm sure that there is some surprise in this box that the Andorans expansion will give us the cooperative mode and some kind of different solo mode, if I'm not wrong. So I think that there is some kind of surprise we don't yet know that will compensate the price to compare these two. Because of course, three race, one race, it seems like no brainer to get these two. But I'm sure that this one will be. I hope this one will be the one that will truly boost the cooperative and also the solo playing on this game. Also, we don't know what will unlock on the stretch goals. Will there be more automa cards, more solo stuff? I'm pretty sure that the Trilarian and the Terra and Kanata will be somewhere in the stretch goals, maybe at 1 million, 2 million, I don't know, wherever this is going to go. It seems to have a little bit slowed down from the start. It went to 500,000 quite fast when it launches, and then it has been gaining like 70, 80,000 a day. So I think it's a decent amount. It's not the Heroes of Might and Magic 3, and the developers said that this IP is not as popular, and I agree. Heroes of Might and Magic is probably bigger than Master of Orion, even that I like more Master of Orion myself. But yeah, we will see what the stretch goals will unlock. Is there more solo things coming? And I hope we can see some information like rule book or even a little clip of gameplay before the campaign ends in late of January. So that's all the information we have at the moment. And we just have to wait and see what will happen when we will see the gameplay actually. So thanks for watching. If you have any comments, leave them below and I will answer everything and we can talk about the solo mode more. So see you next time. Bye.